Day had just barely broken, with dark gray clouds still hovering over the distant horizon. The chilly air of the Midland countryside seeped through the cracks of the wooden doors, carrying the pungent scent of night dew and the subtle sweetness of wild fields. Tien woke up very early. She tied her hair back neatly in a bun, put on her familiar brown shirt, and stepped out into the spacious front yard. On the bamboo drying racks, thin slices of wild bamboo shoots put out a few days ago had now shriveled up, exhaling the signature rich aroma of mountain sunshine and wind. Jack and Oppo's mother had also been up for some time. She walked slowly out to the yard, her thin, calloused hands showing the hardships of a lifetime, gently lifting each piece of dried bamboo shoot to inspect it. Tien approached with a gentle smile and said, "Mom, I think these bamboo shoots are fully dry now. It was so sunny over the past few days that they dried nicely and turned a gorgeous golden color." Jack and Oppo's mother nodded, a flicker of joy lighting up her eyes. "Yes, they and Oppo's. We completely dry, my dear. It and Oppo's. It's too cloudy today to leave them out here. I and Oppo's. I'm afraid if a heavy shower hits this afternoon, they and Oppo's, I'll be ruined." These shoots were brought back fresh the other day, boiled, and dried immediately, which is why they kept such a nice color. Later, make sure you tie them tightly in a plastic bag so we don't and Oppo's have to worry about mold even if kept for a long time. The two of them conversed lively while deftly picking up the bamboo shoots and placing them into the woven basket. Tien carefully set aside the finest portion, softly telling her mother-in-law that this piece would be kept to stir-fry with noodles or make soup for the family, while another portion would be packed neatly to bring down to the new house later as a gift for Uncle Dung. Just then, Jack walked out from inside the house. He wore simple work clothes, yet his tall stature, bright face, and resolute gaze reflected a man who had weathered many storms in the business world. Seeing the two women busy in the yard, Jack smiled warmly. "What are you two up to so early? Are the bamboo shoots dry yet, honey?" "Yes, absolute crisp dry. Since it Oppo's overcast today, I want an Oppo's dry them anymore, and I'm gathering them all up. These will taste amazing stir-fried with noodles or cooked with vermicelli." Tien replied cheerily. Jack nodded approvingly, then turned to ask his mother about packing for the move down to the new house at the farm. He said, "I and Oppo's we already assigned people to oversee the work of the company and the farm over the last few days. I and Oppo's am completely free this morning, so let me call Uncle Dung to see if he and Oppo's home today, and then early this afternoon the two of us can take you down there." Jack pulled out his phone and dialed. On the other end of the line was the warm, hearty voice of Uncle Dung, a longtime comrade and elder who had been closely attached to the farm. Through the short call, Uncle Dung cheerfully reported that he was busy finishing up some tidying around the farm in the morning, and asked them to bring her down in the early afternoon, promising he would be waiting at home to welcome them. Hearing that, Jack turned to tell his mother to take her time resting and packing her luggage. Seeing that they had plenty of time in the morning, Tien came up with the idea of going to the garden to pick a basket of ripe muskmelons to sell at the market for some extra income, as well as to stretch her legs after busy days. Seeing this, Jack volunteered to go along to carry the basket and assist his fiancée. The path leading to the melon patch wound through small rolling hills, with glistening dew drops still clinging to the grass along the banks. Jack wore the bamboo basket on his back, walking side by side with Tien. The peaceful rural setting seemed to soothe the inherent stresses of modern life. Reaching the muskmelon garden, a vast expanse covered in green melon leaves and the rich yellow of ripe melons hidden beneath the foliage opened up before their eyes. Tien quickly parted the clusters of leaves, showing Jack how to tell when a melon was perfectly ripe. "Look here, good muskmelons must have an even golden skin, a slight crack, and emit a sweet fragrance. Any melon that is still green or too hard will taste astringent and one and Oppo's be sweet." Jack listened attentively to Tien and Oppo's instructions and gently picked each ripe melon himself to place in the basket. The two harvested and chatted happily together. Amidst the vast garden, Jack found a juicy, ripe muskmelon with slightly cracked skin that released a fragrant aroma. He took out his small pocket knife, peeled the melon, and handed a big slice to Tien. "Try a piece of this, it and Oppo's so fragrant." Tien took a bite, and a refreshing, cool sweetness filled her mouth. She smiled happily and handed a piece back to Jack. And quote, "It nappos. Es super sweet and refreshing. Try it. These muskmelons will sell like hotcakes at the market." And quote. Working briskly, it didn't nappos. Take long before the bamboo basket on Jack and Appo's back was packed full of round, golden melons. Carrying the heavy basket on his shoulder, Jack walked quickly alongside Tien toward the bustling local market at the entrance of the village. At the market, Tien quickly spread out a small tarp and arranged the melons neatly. The sight of Jack, a handsome CEO dressed simply yet behaving with utmost politeness, standing beside the genuine country girl, Tien instantly drew the attention of the market-goers. And quote, "Fresh, delicious muskmelons here. Freshly picked from the garden, sweet and cool." And quote. Tien called out cheerfully. And quote, "Buy some melons, ma and Appo's, tree ripened and super fragrant." And quote. Jack excitedly joined in, scratching his head and laughing sheepishly as he played the role of a melon merchant for the first time. The villagers gathered in large numbers to support them. Some bought 2 melons, others bought dozens of kilograms. Jack swiftly weighed the melons, calculated the money, and capably helped carry the melons for customers. Taking advantage of a quiet moment, Tien ran off to buy 2 cups of refreshing drinks for Jack. Seeing him handle sales like a pro and hold a small handful of cash while being praised, she couldn't and Appo's hid her proud smile. In just over an hour, the basket of muskmelons was completely sold out, bringing in over 100,000 VND in profit. Tien carefully put the money into her pocket, taking care to reserve 2 of the finest, most fragrant melons in the basket to bring back as a gift for her mother-in-law. Returning to the small home after a successful morning at the market, the atmosphere inside felt even more cozy and warm. While Tien took advantage of the time to go to the back room to bathe and change into clean clothes, Jack sat in the living room with his mother. He carefully poured a cup of warm tea, pushed it toward his mother, his face turning contemplative and full of deep thoughts. And quote, "Mom," and quote, Jack called out gently. And quote, "Yes, son? Do you have something you want to tell me?" And quote, Jack and Appo's mother looked at her son with deep affection. Jack took a deep breath, his eyes steady as he looked straight into his mother and Appo's eyes. And quote, "Mom, throughout all this time, ever since Tien came to live here with our family, how do you feel about her?" And quote. The mother smiled, her kind eyes brimming with emotion. And quote, "I regard her as my own biological daughter, son. When she first came here, she was bewildered and didn't and Appo's know many things, but she is honest, well-behaved, and very eager to learn. No matter how hard the weather is, she never complains once, always taking care of every meal and sleep for me, and worrying about you. Having a companion like her is your blessing, Jack." And quote. Jack nodded in agreement, his voice softening with emotion. And quote, "Yes, Mom. Today I want to be honest with you about this. Now, I've saved up enough to buy a small private house for you, ISN and Appo's grand, but it has full amenities for you to live comfortably and enjoy your old age. Tien and I have also built our own livelihood together. From now on, we can fully manage financial affairs and take proper care of you. However, there's one thing that keeps weighing on my mind. We've been living together for so long, going through so many trials and tribulations, yet I still haven't and Appo's been able to give Tien an official status." And quote. Hearing this, Jack and Appo's mother and Appo's eyes filled with tears. She gently patted her son and Appo's hand. And quote, "You are right, Jack. I've thought about this for many nights too. People in the village keep asking, and I never know how to answer. Tien suffered many disadvantages out of love for you and this family. If we can and Appo's organize a lavish wedding this year, you two must arrange to register your marriage right away. Give the girl a legal status so she can rightfully be your wife and a daughter-in-law of this family. Only then can I rest easy and feel content." And quote. "Yes, Mom. I think so too. I and Appo's decided to take Tien to register our marriage first, so she can legitimately become my wife. As for the wedding, later when everything is truly stable, I will definitely make it up to her with the grandest and most proper wedding." And quote. Jack affirmed firmly. Just then, Tien stepped out from the inner room. Seeing the two talking happily, she smiled and asked, and quote, "What are you two chatting about so happily?" I and Appo's finished packing all of Mom and Appo's S things and ein Oppos. V carefully put the puppy in a box too, . Jack stood up, picked up his mother and Oppos' small suitcase and the box with the puppy, replying with a smile, . It Oppos. Nothing, honey. Now that everything is packed, let Oppos' head out? Or Uncle Dung will be waiting. . The car rolled on, taking the family toward the peaceful farm area, where his mother and Oppos' new house was located. It was a modern single-story house designed in a neat garden style, covering about 80 square meters. Surrounding the house was a spacious brick yard, vibrant flower beds blooming in full color, and an airy green landscape. Uncle Dung was already standing at the gate waiting. As soon as he saw the car stop, he walked briskly out to warmly welcome them. Oh, you and Oppos. We all here. Please come inside. I and Oppos V cleaned up the whole house, it and Oppos' nice and airy now, . Tien released the small golden puppy onto the yard. The puppy trotted around the new brick floor, looking extremely delighted. Jack and Oppos' mother stepped into the new house, her eyes filled with wonder as she looked at every little corner. The house consisted of 2 neat bedrooms, a bright living room, a modern closed kitchen, and a clean bathroom. Everything was fully equipped, from a TV, refrigerator, and padded beds to cozy wooden furniture. Uncle Dung pulled out a stack of completed land and house documents and handed them to Jack. Jack received them, and with all solemnity and respect, presented the house papers to his mother with both hands. Mom, this house might not be huge, but it represents all our heart, sweat, and hard work that Tien and I wanted to gift you. We have completed all the transfer procedures, so from now on, this house is officially in your name. We only hope that from now on, you can live in a relaxed space without any more worries or troubles. Please live happily and healthily beside us, Mom. Tien stepped closer, gently wrapping her arm around Jack and Oppos' mother and Oppos' shoulders and saying softly, That and Oppos' right, Mom. Jack always tells me that he only wishes for you to live happily and peacefully. This is a small gift of filial devotion from us. Please rest assured and enjoy your old age here, Mom. Jack and Oppos' mother was moved to tears. Tears of happiness rolled down the wrinkled cheeks of the old mother. She held tightly onto Jack and Tien and Oppos' hands. Thank you both. I'm so happy. My life has been full of hardship, and now seeing you grow up, loving and caring for me like this, I couldn't and Oppos' ask for anything more. To liven up the joyful atmosphere, Uncle Dung laughed aloud and said, all right, happy occasion in a new home, no more crying. Earlier I went to the market and bought plenty of fresh, delicious food stored in the fridge. This afternoon, our family must make a feast to celebrate the new home, Shuden and Oppos' tieu. Tien and Jack quickly headed down to the kitchen, rolling up their sleeves to assist Uncle Dung and their mother in preparing the meal. The clatter of knives and cutting boards, the sizzling of food over the bright stove fire, blended with vibrant laughter and conversations, brightening up the whole new house. The housewarming meal took place in an extremely warm atmosphere, overflowing with familial love and complete joy. After settling everything properly, and leaving their mother well established at the new house under the thoughtful care of neighbor Uncle Dung, Jack and Tien returned to their own home. However, inside Jack and Oppos' heart, a secret plan was stirring. That evening, taking advantage of the time Tien took a few vegetables to the night market to sell one last trip, Jack secretly made his move. He drove straight to the largest jewelry store in the town center, carefully choosing an exquisite and luxurious white gold proposal ring set with a diamond. Returning home, Jack set to work redecorating the dining space. He cleaned the dining table, lit shimmering scented candles that radiated a warm golden light and a soft rose fragrance. On the table, a premium bottle of red wine was already opened beside 2 crystal-clear glass goblets. He also prepared a few light dishes that Tien loved most. Around 9 p.m., Tien pushed the door open and stepped inside. She appeared quite tired after a long day of moving around selling goods at the market. However, as soon as she crossed the threshold, Tien was utterly stunned. The house lights were dimmed, leaving only the magical, flickering candlelight. The aroma of candles and red wine, combined with gentle instrumental music, playing softly in the background. Jack. What is all this? Tien asked bewilderedly, her eyes wide with amazement. Dressed smartly in an elegant white shirt, Jack stepped closer, gently taking Tien and Alpo's hand, helping her take down the basket on her back, and saying tenderly, and quote, "You must be exhausted after selling goods. Wash your hands and come eat dinner with me. Tonight, I want to dedicate this space entirely to the two of us." End quote. Tien was still in shock, but an indescribable wave of emotion surged within her. She obediently washed her hands and sat at the dining table opposite Jack. Jack poured 2 glasses of red wine, raising his glass as it shimmered under the candlelight. End quote. "Cheers to you, to Mom having a new house today, and to us." End quote. The two clinked glasses, enjoying the rich red wine and savoring the delicious food. The atmosphere became deeply romantic, warm, and intimate. As the meal drew to a close, the melodious instrumental music reached its climax. Jack stood up and walked over to where Tien was sitting. He looked deep into the clear eyes of the girl who had shared every hardship and joy with him. From his jacket pocket, Jack pulled out a deep red velvet box. He slowly dropped down to one knee in front of Tien and opened the box. The sparkling diamond ring reflected the shimmering candlelight. Tien covered her mouth with both hands, tears welling up in her eyes from sheer surprise and emotion. Jack held Tien and Alpo's soft hand, which bore a few small calluses, and spoke in a deep, warm voice straight from his heart. End quote. Tien, you came into my life during my most difficult days, standing by my side through so many storms and hardships. You cared for my mother, and worried about me in every little way without ever demanding anything for yourself. I know you have endured many disadvantages and rumors over the past time. Today, in front of my mother, I promise to give you a proper status. End quote. Jack paused for a moment, took a deep breath, and continued. End quote. Tien, will you marry me? Tomorrow, we will go together to the local authority to register our marriage. I want us to officially become a legally recognized husband and wife. I promise, later when everything is more stable, I will definitely hold your hand as we walk down the aisle and give you the grandest, most magnificent wedding. A wedding that you truly deserve. End quote. Tears of joy burst forth onto Tien and Alpo's cheeks. Unable to contain her emotions, she nodded repeatedly through her chokes. End quote. I do. Jack. I do. I don't and Alpo's need a grand wedding. Just being with you and building a family together makes me more than happy. End quote. Jack smiled radiantly, carefully slipping the ring onto Tien and Alpo's ring finger. The ring fit perfectly, as if it were born specifically for her. Jack stood up and held Tien tightly in his arms. Two souls intertwined in a tight embrace and a sweet kiss under the romantic candlelight. The next morning, even the weather seemed to favor them. The Mao sun sky was clear and blue without a single cloud, with golden sunshine spreading across every road. Early on, Jack and Tien were dressed very neatly. Jack looked dapper in trousers and a shirt. Tien looked charming and radiant in a light pink moderneo dye. Carrying all their personal documents, they walked hand in hand into the Commune People and Alpo's committee headquarters. In the civil status office, under the witness and enthusiastic guidance of the local official, Jack and Tien put pen to paper together on the marriage registration form. The moment the pen glided across the white paper marked a historic turning point in both their lives. From this moment on, they were not just lovers or soulmates, but officially became husband and wife under the recognition of the law and society. Holding the bright red marriage certificate in his hand, Jack turned to embrace Tien, flashing his brightest smile ever. Tien rested her head against his chest, her eyes shining with faith in a bright, happy future ahead. A glorious new chapter had officially opened in the lives of Jack and Tien, where love, sacrifice, and filial piety had harvested the most fulfilling sweet fruit. What exciting agricultural projects, experiences, and family life adventures await Jack and Tien on their journey ahead? We cordially invite our esteemed audience to continue watching and subscribe to the channel so you and Alpo's miss the upcoming videos with extremely thrilling developments. Thank you everyone for your love and companionship.
Xin chào cả nhà đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình nhé. Hôm nay thì mình đưa tới một tập tiếp theo. Hết điện thoại cả nhà ơi. của câu chuyện quản lý Tử Tiên nha cả nhà. Như cả nhà cũng đã biết thì Jack đã dự định là sẽ cùng với Tử Tiên đi đăng ký kết hôn để cả hai có danh phận ở trên pháp lý trước, và sau đó thì sẽ kiểu là sẽ tổ chức đám cưới sau. Vậy lý do thực sự khiến Jack tự nhiên muốn đăng ký kết hôn với Tử Tiên là gì, trong khi anh có thể làm điều đó khi mà sẽ cưới, hoặc là làm sao đấy, liệu có một cái điều gì ẩn chứa phía sau không? Vậy thì hãy đón xem những tập tiếp theo để có thể biết thêm chi tiết. Và đừng quên đăng ký kênh mình, bật chuông thông báo lên để không bỏ lỡ bất kỳ video nào cả nhà nhé. Và mình sẽ mang đến những video ngoại truyện cũng như những dự đoán hấp dẫn cho câu chuyện của Tử Tiên và Jack. Tạm biệt cả nhà.